Hi guys, I'm Matt, I'm from Solar Choice. Today I'm here in Newstead, Brisbane at a 55 unit apartment block, and I'm alongside my colleague and CEO, Jeff Sykes. We're going to talk to you a little bit about the solar and the EV charging backbone that has been installed here very recently. It's been up and running at the time of recording this video for about 4 or 5 months. So from the solar side of things, they've installed a 40 kilowatt system. Now that is currently oversized to their current needs and requirements. It's helping offset things like their lift usage, their lighting, their aircon. And it's expected that through the EV charging and their increased consumption, that'll help them much better into the future. Current circumstances and current savings, it's expected to be around about $12,000 per year. So this 40 kilowatt system is tackling the common area only. It is a sort of a smaller system compared to their roof space capabilities. They've actually got a really large roof area and can install a much larger system. So in the future, if they wanted to tackle the individual apartments, they can absolutely do that and install another system to coincide and sit alongside this common system. So now we're down in the basement. I've got the 30 kilowatt sun-grown inverter next to me. This time in this particular building, they've chosen to put it on wall, which is a good spot for it. It can be housed and put externally to the building if featured and caged appropriately. But here down in the basement, it's got enough room, enough breathing space, so it's going to be a really good spot for the longevity of this system. We're about 10 meters away from the switchboard and all seems to be working well.
Hi guys, I'm Jeff from Solar Choice. And so the solar system that Matt's just described for us, it connects into the main switchboard here. So this is the house power. So as Matt described, this system is feeding the common area. And off the common area, we also have an electric vehicle charging backbone. So through this car park, we've got data cables and electricity cables running across the roof and connecting into each of the parking bays. Also at the main switchboard, we have a Smappee load management system. And that load management system is capable of communicating with all of the different chargers that are installed in this building, and if necessary, throttling them back to remain below the capacity of power that is available to this building. So one important thing to think about when designing an electric vehicle charging backbone is the location of the electric vehicle distribution boards, or EVDBs. Usually there'll be at least one or multiple of these spread across the car park. And basically this is a central hub and all the cables run out to the individual pipe and base from here. And there's a mains cable that runs back to that central switchboard from this EVDB.
And the positioning of this EVDB can minimize the amount of cable length that has to be run and bother the overall cost.
Often where there's multiple levels in parking, there'll be a requirement to have one EVDB, at least one each level. The other thing to note is behind me we've got this black cabinet, and that contains all of the data cables. So each of the data cables run back to this central point. This connects to a modem and a router, which connects all of parking bays and the future charging devices to the internet. So that is the one last consideration, is that these systems usually require internet connection. So they can usually Ethernet into an existing Wi-Fi, like was the case with this building, or they may be a requirement to put in a 4G or new Wi-Fi connection, potentially with an extendable antenna that can be positioned somewhere external to the building to get better reception.
So when we look into the individual parking bays, everyone gets one of these isolators, and when they're ready, they can attach to it a level 2 charger. In this scenario, because they've installed the Smappee load management system, it's the Smappee EV charger that's right here that they would need to install.
There are some load management systems that are more agnostic, that enable you to use a array of branded chargers, but in this scenario, it's a branded solution.
You can also see here that the cable trays are mounted on the wall. In different areas of the car park, they're actually mounted through the roof as well. And something to notice when designing that those cable trays don't change the clearance of the building and drop below any of the other surfaces that are already existing as a car park.
So I know what you might be thinking. This charger is connected to the common area meter. So does that mean that all the owners are chipping in for this owner's electric charging use? And the answer is no. So what the Smappee system does in this case is it records all the charges and summarizes that on a quarterly basis. And then the strata manager will send through an invoice to the respective owner to reimburse the body corporate account for the electricity that's being used. Other solutions which are a bit more hands-free include software where you're basically paying each charge through an app, and usually those software solutions charge them 5% per transaction or have an annual fee to reimburse their costs of administrating that system. But important to know that the user pays in this scenario.
So Wade, thanks for spending some time with us. You're the building manager here. Obviously played a role in both the solar and the EV charging projects. Has there been any feedback from owners now that the project's been
So definitely, the residents responding that in the complex are very happy. They've worked with having the EV and the solar available for the residents and stuff to use their car park. It's a efficient for them to use. So basically, we've got an app they can use on their phone, using their data stuff before the data some purposes so that he thinks it's so it's quite convenient for them.
Yeah, and probably happy to see those energy bills come in a bit cheaper as well.
Definitely, and it's good. It's no better feeling when you have new residents on board that will have the farm job actually giving the givers and that the EVDB system down to Kalmaria. And and already we've already had it for about I think about 5 months now, and they can also so they can still get the cheaper kilowatt, right?
Great. Okay, and so. This building's swimming ahead of the curve. There's about only less than 3% of apartment buildings have solar on the roof, and less than 1% have EV charging backbones with solutions in the car park. And you're not to have both right here. So there must have been some learnings going through that as one of the early buildings to adopt this technology.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and I think it was exciting first, and it's just the whole system technology these days provide that range. As a building manager, I was kind of putting my side myself actually see how it all go about, how they build it very quickly. So the being was quite impressed with you how you can put your system up. And twitches here and there, but as a team, they wanted to fix it for us. And again, like 5 months later, what's actually doing. So yeah,
Brilliant. Okay, well, Wade, thanks for your time. And it's a great project here, and great to see it all operational.
no, that's all right, no worries. Yeah, thank you.